Hello everyone and welcome to Top 5 Wrestling Animations of the Week, Week 81. A pretty decent week this week, some usual faces, there's also some that we don't see too often which is quite cool, so let's get straight into it with the honourable mentions. So we've got SSW with his Takeover Miami Part 5. We have G6W with his Springboard 450. And we have SuplexNetwork with his Tope. Now moving into the top 5, in 5th place we have LMS with his Spinebuster. So this was a nice behind the scenes look, it was cool to see the type of rig that you use for moves like this. The animation was solid as well. I thought it was a bit too quick and there wasn't a lot of reaction on it. I like the movements from Eric, however. The one-footed Spinebuster always looks a bit better. I did think Matt was quite stiff for most of the animation, but I think the flow overall was decent as well, so a good job overall. 4th place this week we have ARW with his Bro Kick to the ladder. So the joint movements were solid, there wasn't really any stiffness except in Sheamus after he hit the move. I thought the rope bounce looked really nice, as did the chair break. There was a good reaction also. I did think the string was very obvious though, which was a shame for sure. I also think the ladder leg sliding back into place looked quite unnatural, and Sheamus could have moved more after the move instead of just sliding his feet back. But overall, a good job. 3rd place this week we have Dwayne YIFA with his Cena vs The Rock. So this was mostly smooth, it had nice joint movements, and the JWS inspiration is very certainly there, but there's nothing wrong with that of course. It looks like you used frame blending or perhaps motion blur or something, which is fine, but some bits did get a little bit glitchy because of this. It had a nice flow throughout however, and the speed felt solid for the most part. 2nd place this week is once again Dwayne YIFA with his Kinshasa. Once again, this was super smooth and had a good flow. It had nice joint movements also. It felt a bit too slidey here, and I thought there were also some jerky bits. The rope work was great however, it had such a natural looking bounce to it. The reaction was really good also. I think for me it could use a bit more realism on it, it's a bit too cartoony for my personal tastes. The lighting is great, and while I do prefer a more basic background, I think this one looked fine. But the flow is mostly what tips it slightly above your match this week. And in 1st place we have RAW with his Lucha sequence. So this has just absolutely untouchable movements. I feel like you don't use string because movements like this are very hard to achieve with string since it restricts the articulation. Maybe you use your hand or a good flight stand or a rig, or maybe I'm wrong altogether and it is string. Let me know because it's really confusing how you manage that. But I think the flow, joint movements and realism were all absolutely phenomenal for the most part. It was really smooth as well. My only nitpick really would be that the hang time and reaction on the reverse monkey flip sort of looked a little weird. I think Sammy sort of slowed down mid-air and it kind of looked like a cartoon when they stop, look down and then fall. It was sort of like that just with the hang time. And I thought the reaction was quite stiff, which is probably the only time your animation has ever been stiff. This is absolutely fantastic and it's a new favourite of mine for sure. Now taking a look at the leaderboard this week, we have all 5 places filled this week. In 5th place is SuplexNetwork with 1 point, in 4th place is LMS with 6 points, in 3rd place is Dwayne YIFA with 7 points, 2nd place is ARW with 9 points, and 1st place is RAW with 10 points. So that does it for this week guys, thank you very much for watching, hope everyone's having a good new year so far. Here in the UK we're not really because we're all back in lockdown, but hopefully I don't lose my job and we'll see how things go from here. Hope to see you all next week. Bye bye.